July 8th, 2025, I made the riskiest decision of my life. I'm officially unemployed because I'm not gonna work for anybody else. I'd rather fucking die on my feet than to live my life on my knees. The most obvious question is obviously what could possibly bring me to that point? And it was a combination of things. The main one being this. Today is July 8th. Unfortunately, I just got fired from my $15K a month corporate job. The few days beforehand were very strange. The energy in the building was just off, ominous even. Then I was called into the office by my two head managers and I was told that I was being let go. Of course, I stayed stoic throughout the whole entire interaction. As I'm looking them in their eyes, smiling and shaking their hands goodbye, one of my managers tells me something that I don't think I will ever forget. Lionel, you have great talent and I have no doubt in your abilities, but you need to learn when it's time to humble yourself and submit. And in that instant, I learned one undeniable truth. Skill and talents can only get you so far when you're working for somebody else. Eventually, your forward progression becomes more about what people feel about you than it is actually about your performance. There's a reason why the first lesson in the 48 Laws of Power is to never outshine your master. But the thing about me is that honestly, I have a massive ego. And I have very wrathful thought patterns, which I mask very well. But that mask comes off when I decide that somebody is not worth my respect, which is what led to my firing. But this event just added more fuel to a fire that was already burning inside of me. That fire was for my freedom. Ultimately, I was indifferent because that position was nothing more than a means to an end. Plus, I know that at my skill level, I can walk into another organization in that same industry and make at least $7 grand a month. So why don't I? Well, it's because on that drive home, I came to the realization that I wasted 5 years of my life getting first place in the wrong race. I did nothing but chase money. 5 years straight, working 70 hours a week, building one skill set, lifting myself up from homelessness into a position where I was making 15 grand a month, just for the same rope I used to climb up to be used against me. And if I continued on that path, I would have to accept two realities that were just impossible for me. Number one, I would have to learn how to respect those that I do not feel are deserving of my respect. And number two, I would have to be okay with allowing my livelihood to be in the hands of other people. So on that drive home, I decided that I'm done chasing money. And my number one priority now is achieving freedom. But what does freedom even mean? To me, freedom is the ability to do what you want, when you want to, where you want to, and with whoever you want to. Freedom is not avoiding responsibilities. It's just the ability to create your own responsibilities. And there's only one thing in this world that will allow you to do that, and that's power. But power can be broken up into two things. Money, not in a sense that we worship money, but because we understand and appreciate its ability to amplify. And knowledge. Knowledge is important because those without knowledge would always be subjugated by those with knowledge. And once again, there's only one thing that allows you to capture both sides of this equation, and that is entrepreneurship, which is why I will never work for anybody else again. But once that decision was made, a countdown started. A countdown for my own survival. I have enough money to survive for maybe 2.5, maybe 3 months. I have to make this shit work or I'm gonna be homeless. I would love to say that I hit the ground running, but that ticking on the back of my head sent me on a panic. Business model after business model, I tried and I failed until I landed on the one, Growth Operator. This is just a business model where I partner with creators and help them build out their info product ecosystem. But things were not sweet when I started. For 3 weeks, I grinded cold outreach without seeing any results until a couple days ago, I signed my first creator. You would think that things got better after this, but this is where the real battle began. Self-doubt, imposter syndrome, self-sabotage, bad habits, fear of failure. All my internal battles became amplified by the very thing I fought so hard for. And if I don't get this under control, I'm going to experience something that I've spent the last 5 years running away from: homelessness. Because when I say I will never work for somebody else again, I mean it. It's get rich or die trying. But in order to get what I want, I need to transform myself from a high-performing employee to a highly capable entrepreneur. And this series is going to be a documentation of that process. And I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing this because I know that I'm not the only one out there that feels the call to freedom. I know that I'm not the only one out there that feels like they are meant for more. I know I'm not the only one out there that refuses to bend the knee. But God will not give you freedom just because you want it. You have to show God why you deserve your freedom by becoming the absolute best version of yourself. And that's why I'm solo leveling.